Okay, this is Spencer, the Tampa Bay wallpaper installer. Just another quick tip on your wall covering installations. This is a Maraham acrylic-backed, non-woven fabric. Okay, picture hanging a print on your wall, something on which, say like a canvas or a very thin bath towel. That's exactly what I think of when I'm hanging this, okay? Now, it's very easy to install because it doesn't take the time that a vinyl would take or your typical wallpaper. This is fabric. And on the back of it is, you know, the stuff for nail polish. It keeps all the paint together. It's actually very good for outdoor use. Well, on the back of this is an acrylic that keeps all of the fibers together. And so it's a very nice looking wall covering. It's very popular. But unlike most wall coverings, you have to glue the wall first. Some of the vinyl you glue the wall first as well, particularly the very thin paper. But this requires that you glue the wall. Now, one of the reasons for that is if you tried to glue this, the wall covering would just come down. In fact, you have to glue the wall first and let the glue tack up to the point at which it's almost dry, but not completely. But certainly not slippery and wet. So I'm just going to continue doing what I was doing until I got to this point, just so your hands obviously got to be really clean. If they're not, you will treat the wall covering like you will a cloth with which you clean your hands, and I would say good luck getting the dirt out of the wall covering. So it's a little tricky in terms of getting the wrinkles out, but if you see my laser line here, this plumb line, you see the edge of the wall covering is strictly on this line. I mean, it's got to be dead on. And so I'm working from this point to my left. This wall covering, the center of this wall covering is on the center of my 20-foot wide wall here. And so there you have it. I'm not done getting the wrinkles out, but as you can imagine, just picture like putting a blanket on the floor, right? And you just get the wrinkles out. It's almost that easy. Although you have gravity working in your favor in that case. I just ordered my 10-inch wall covering smoothers. These are just not wide enough to do it. They're pretty good, but the next one is going to be this wide, and they're going to be more sturdy. Anyway, this is the tool I'm using. It's pretty good. You can actually make your own. But see, it gets a little tricky pulling out these wrinkles. If you ever do this yourself, you can do this. You have to keep, if you get these wrinkles, you might have to keep pulling the wall covering off the wall until you get it straightened out. Okay? Work it however you gotta work it. We have our first obstacle, which I'm down, you can't see me, but we have our first obstacle, and that is an outlet. I do not cut out my outlets first by measuring and, you know, like a carpenter might. No, I wait until I get the wall covering on the wall. I think most wallpaper hangers would agree that you do that when you get to it. Okay? Yeah, I can see the outline of it now. Anyway, it's an interesting assignment. I can tell you that it's taking half the time to hang this fabric than typical vinyl. I would say my suggestion would be the most important thing is clean hands and a clean tool. Once you start